Ladies and gentlemen, Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga, who is now working with the Kenya Kwanza government, yesterday spoke about demonstrations which are going to happen today on 25th. And Raila Amolo Odinga was very critical and was saying with caution about the demonstrations which are going to appear or which are going to take place today, because today the Gen Z had told the government and the opposition side, which is actually being read by Rigathi Gachagua, Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka, that they were going to have demonstrations, and those demonstrations will be against police brutality and against the government of William Samoei Arap Ruto, which has actually allowed police brutality to take place in this republic. And Raila Amolo Odinga was actually speaking from Mombasa. And what Raila Amolo Odinga actually said was quite shocking. It looks like since Raila Amolo Odinga is now in the government, he was speaking in a way that he was limiting today's demonstrations. He actually talked about demonstrations that those are given in our constitution, and every Kenyan has the right to demonstrate, has the right to picket. But Raila Amolo Odinga said that if you must demonstrate, if you must picket, you must tell the police that you are going to picket or demonstrate at a certain time or a certain day. And you must agree with the police so that they can give you enough security. And you must give a limitation about your demonstrations. You must tell the police that I am going to follow this route and I am going to start my demonstrations from here and I will end them at this point. And then after that, you pack your things and you go home. That is actually what Raila Amolo Odinga told those who are going to to demonstrate today. And at the same time, he talked about peaceful demonstrations and harmed that whenever you will demonstrate, you must be peaceful and you must be unharmed. And as you know, all along, it is Raila Amolo Odinga who has always been championing for demonstrations, and he has always been leading demonstrations. And you know how those demonstrations have been year in, year out. And you can agree that those demonstrations, Kenyans, we have not reached the level where we demonstrate peacefully and unharmed. And Raila Amolo Odinga said that you must demonstrate peacefully. And if you cannot demonstrate peacefully, if you can go on to destroy other people's property, that is against the constitution. Here is Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga speaking from Mombasa about today's demonstrations. Please listen to this carefully, and after that, we will be back to analyze the speech of Raila Amolo Odinga. Please listen to this.
Sasa vijana na Wakenya wengine wakasema watu watakwenda maandamano kesho. Mimi nataka niseme katika katiba yetu inasema namna hii. Fungu la 37 Article 37, assembly, demonstration, picketing and petition. Every person has the right peaceably and unarmed to assemble, to demonstrate, to picket and to present petitions to public authorities. Yani kila mtu, kila Mkenya ana haki ya bila kuwa na silaha yoyote kutoka na kukutana na vile vile kufanya maandamano na vile vile kugoma na vile vile kupeleka kumbukumbu kwa serikali. Hiyo ni haki ambayo iko ndani ya katiba yetu. Kwa hivyo kama watu wanataka kufanya maandamano, sheria nasema kwanza unampatia serikali notisi. Ati sisi tunataka kufanya maandamano siku fulani, tutafanya maandamano kutoka hapa mpaka hapo. Mnakubaliana? Alafu polisi kazi yao ni kwenda kulinda nchi, kulinda wale ambao wanaandamana na kuhakikisha kwamba wasiharibu mali ya watu wengine. Tunakubaliana ya kwamba itafanyika kutoka saa hii mpaka saa hii, kutoka hapa mpaka hapa. Hivyo ndio inafanyika katika nchi zote. Mliona juzi wakati vita ilitoka kule Iran, mmeona maandamano ilikuwa huko London, kule Paris, kule The Hague, kule Pakistan, kule India, hata Amerika. Wanafanya maandamano, manake sahili wanafanya maandamano, wameshaambia polisi tutafanya maandamano. Na itatoka hapa mpaka hapa. Inafanyika kila siku, kila mahali. Kwa hivyo maandamano ni haki ya Wakenya wote. Mimi nasema kama Wakenya wanataka kuandamana, kitu muhimu zaidi nataka kwa polisi waambiwa na polisi wakubaliana ya kwamba tutatoka hapa tufanye maandamano mpaka hapa. Alafu baadaye sisi tutatoka turudi nyumbani bila kwenda kuharibu mali yoyote. Kwa hiyo mimi nasema Wakenya wako na haki hata kesho kwanza kufanya maandamano, lakini wakubaliane ya kwamba tutaanza hapo na tutaenda mpaka hapo, alafu mambo itakwisha hapo. Mimi nasema namna hiyo. Hiyo ni msimamo ya chama chetu cha ODM. Wakenya wako na haki ya maendeleo, maandamano. Kenyans have a right to picket, to assemble and to demonstrate. The exception is that first you need to notify the police, and you agree with the police. This is where you are going to start the demonstration, and we will follow this route up to this end here, and this will be the end of the demonstration. And from this time to this time. So we need to have a proper working relationship, because demonstrations are going to come all the times. There will be reasonable demonstrations. So we should not criminalize demonstrations. Demonstrations also should not disrupt the economy of the country. People should agree in a civilized way how demonstrations are conducted. And that way we will have a very peaceful country. This is what I'm saying. And therefore I've said that even tomorrow there's no need for the government to stop people from demonstrating. People, those who want to demonstrate, come out and demonstrate from one place to the other place. Let it be allowed, because this is a constitutional right of every Kenyan. But then you will remember, in 2023, when our boys had been killed and our girls, when we wanted to go and pray for our boys and girls, we were not allowed in any church to go and pray. All the churches refused to allow us a place to pray at that time. The hypocrisy is that now the church is coming out to say, we are ready and we are with you people. Where were they all this time? Hypocrites. Hypocrites are the swine of civilization.
After listening to that, you can agree with me that the speech that Raila Odinga made yesterday is giving a speech because now he is in government. He is speaking from a perspective of being in William Samoei Arap Ruto broad-based government. And he is speaking as if he is the person who is going to regulate the demonstrations which are going to appear, which are also going to, or going to take place today. Because Raila Odinga is telling the Kenyans that if today you have to demonstrate, you must go and ask permission from the police. You must give the route you are going to use when you will do the demonstrations. You must agree with the police that you are going to start demonstration or demonstrating from a certain point, and you are going to end at a certain point. And at the same time, you must be peaceful when you are demonstrating. You must not make the economy of this country to stop because you are just demonstrating. But remember, Raila Odinga has been reading the demonstrations year in, year out. And all those demonstrations that Raila Odinga has always read, they have always affected the economy of this nation greatly, because all the demonstrations that have been done there before, they have always been chaotic. They have always stopped the economy, because if you can remember, there is no demonstration, even one, which Raila Odinga has actually read. And those demonstrations were very peaceful. And that people were not carrying or harmed in any way, because you have been seeing all along that the demonstrations which have been taking place, you will find people are carrying rungus, you will find people are carrying stones. So demonstrations in this nation, we know how they take place. We know the goodness of demonstrations, and we know also the other bad side of demonstrations. We have not reached the level of demonstrating like the Western world. What Raila Odinga is trying to liken the demonstrations which should be done today to, that today you must do your demonstrations from a certain point to a certain point, from certain time to a certain time, and then you dispatch and you go home. That is what Raila Amolo Odinga is saying. And he is also calling out the church that they have what we call hypocrisy. Because Raila Amolo Odinga feels that when he was reading demonstrations in the past, the church never came out. But this time, the church is coming out to demonstrate. The church is telling the demonstrators that we are with you. But he is condemning the church about the past, that during the past, the church never stood with demonstrators, even when they were being butchered. That this time, the church is saying that it is okay to give it a go-ahead for demonstrators, and it is telling them, we are going to accompany you. And Raila Odinga is saying that the church is quite hypocritical. At one time, they allow they actually join demonstrators, and at a certain time, they don't join demonstrators who are actually fighting for the same thing. And that is what Raila is calling hypocritical. But why is Raila Odinga speaking about today's demonstrations in that way? One, Raila Odinga is in government, and now he is imposing restriction about today's demonstrations. And in a nutshell, Raila Odinga is saying that every person has a right to picket, to demonstrate, but he's giving another limitation that you must do it this and that way. But in the whole nutshell, I can say Raila Odinga was against today's demonstrations, and that is why he was trying to speak the way he had to speak yesterday. Because from the whole speech, if you analyze it keenly and critically, it was as if Raila Odinga was saying that he is not with the demonstrators today. He was trying to impose restriction to demonstrators. He was trying to advise the demonstrators on how they should do the demos. So, in the nutshell, when Raila Amolo Odinga was giving that speech, I felt that Raila Amolo Odinga was trying to limit today's demonstrations. And at the same time, I could feel that Raila Amolo Odinga was against those demonstrations which we are going to have today. And that is why he was trying to push back at the church. That is why he was saying that the church is quite hypocritical, because during my time when I was reading demonstrations, the church was not with me. But this time, the church is pretending, and it is now with the demonstrators. Why those double standards? That when somebody is reading demonstrations, the church is not with it. But when other peoples are reading demonstrations, the church is with them. So in the nutshell, I can say that the speech that Raila Odinga made yesterday in Mombasa, Jomufi, he was against today's demonstrations in totality. But he was speaking to appear as a Democrat. But the truth is, he was against today's demos. And he was speaking all that from the perspective of the government. That today, if demonstrations will be chaotic, then we cannot call those demonstrations. And there is no need to demonstrate. And if the police were not told about those demonstrations, and those demonstrations where they will start and where they will end, then it is good that those demonstrations should not go on. My fellow listeners, what did you read about that speech of Raila Amolo Odinga talking about today's demos? Please drop your comment in the comment section below. And if this is your first time to pump into this YouTube channel, I request you kindly to take a minute and subscribe to this YouTube channel. Give this video a like, share the video to your friends. And if your friends are lovers of politics, then it's good to request them for us to subscribe to this YouTube channel. And whenever you subscribe to our YouTube channel, always remember to smash the bell button. And for those ones who have actually subscribed to our YouTube channel, I say thank you and may God bless you, because you really give us the inspiration to continue coming up with this kind of political analysis. And with that, I say thank you until we meet in our next political discussion. Goodbye.